Before we get started, 3 new things to learn in this piece, and we'll take them one at a time. The first new thing is the hits, or the crunches, and you can see those as an X on the note instead of like a dot note, it's like an X note, and it'll have hit written above it. There's 2 things you can do with that. The first thing, use your left hand, like that. Make sure also that your left hand is not like supporting the neck, because it'll be harder to do that. Put the palm of your hand on this part right here, I forget what that's called, the bottom of the neck, and just rest it there. And then you can slap back and forth. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Slap. So that's option 1 with the hits. Option 2 is doing a crunch or a chop with the bow. That's when you make contact with 2 strings or whatever. It's kind of just whatever happens. You hold the bow up like this and you land it like that. You're also keeping pressure on the strings as you do it, and you don't lift the bowstring off. So the goal is to not make the strings ring like this. The goal is to make it a crunch. So you get started with a screeching sound and then you halt it like. You can just practice that if you would. So yeah, just like nice sharp crunches. So that's the first thing we need to learn. The second thing is swing. So swing is where you have 8th notes, and normally 8th notes are like this. Keep in mind that those 8th notes that you just saw were slurred in pairs of 2, which means 2 notes, B and D, are on one down bow, and then you go up bow for 2 notes. So it's down, up, down, up. That's just something that we'll talk about in class more. So we need to be able to do those slurs of 2 notes, back and forth. B, D, B, D, down, up. Okay. So it's an even split. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, swung 8th notes is where the first one lasts a little bit longer than the second one. I'll just demonstrate it. So yeah, the first note lasts longer, and the second note lasts shorter. So let me do compare. I'll do 4 normal, and I'll do 4 swung 8th notes. Here's the 4 normal. Ready, go. 4 swing. Normal. Swing. And the final thing is fingering wise. So let's go to measure 8, and you can see there that there's a high 1 and a high 3. The notes underneath A sharp and C sharp, and what string would that be on? That's right, the G string. Okay, check this out. This is a 1 on the G string, and a 3 on the G string, and slurs of 2. That's not what we're doing though. We've got to do a high 1, shift your whole hand up a little bit like this, so it's... And here's the normal again. But in measure 8, it's a high 1 and a high 3. So you just scooch it up a little bit. Great. The next place I want you to look at, measure 25. And it is on the A string. And again, here's the normal 1 and 3. And both of them are going to be low, so all you'll do is shift your hand down just a little bit. Like that. Good. Now let's go to measure 29 and measure 30. Measure 29. And that's measure 30. So the glissando is going to be down and up, down bow and an up bow. Down bow for the first half of it, a down bow for the first half, and an up bow for the second half of that measure. I'll turn on the metronome and play those 2 measures again. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, and measure 32, that's the final one. It'll be Same thing as measure 30, except it's from the 2 to the 3. So you'll slide up and put the 3 down on the way back. One, 2, 3, 4, rest, rest, crunch, rest, 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 rest. Measure 5. First ending. Back to measure 5. Second ending. Rest, rest. Rest, rest.